Yay, I believe I'm on now. I had a few technical difficulties because I changed it to Brad's Drones instead of from my vlogging channel. And I hope everybody is doing well. So far we have nobody in here. Where's Brian? You texted me and you're not even here. We will text him real quick. So, anyway, welcome everybody to another live stream because I have not done one in a long time. There's Brian. How are you, sir? Now I see you. Anyway, it says nobody's watching right now. That's what it tells me. I think that is incorrect. If you're here, say hi. Like I said, I see that it tells me 0 people are watching. And today we are going to talk about my trip to the Upper Peninsula this weekend and flying in in Michigan in general. We're going to talk about the FAA rule about how they overruled a local ordinances in Newton, Massachusetts. I'm sure if you fly drones that you've heard of it. There, now it says there's people watching. Thank you very much, Mr. Brian. First of all, this kind of goes around that whole Newton, Massachusetts thing with the FAA or a federal court saying, hi, Friday, how are you? And it says something like, basically it said that the local ordinances cannot override the FAA rules, which, here in Chicago, the ordinances that we have here, it says you can't fly over government buildings or city-owned buildings. But then again, that goes to the whole point of you have to have permission to fly over buildings, so they are basically not giving you permission to do that. So you can't fly over the courthouses, you can't fly over police departments, you can't fly over that. So that's still in effect. And we can fly out of certain parks. You cannot fly over this and that. So, the ordinances basically say, like with Newton, I believe it said you can't fly anything below 400 feet, which pretty much null and voided any drones at all in Newton, Massachusetts. And then the FAA said, no. Actually, what it is a guy sued the city, and then they ruled in favor of the FAA rules over what Newton rules were. So that kind of is great. I hope you're doing, that's great, Friday. I'm glad you're here. And thank you, Brian. And Foundation Aerial is Brian, if anybody cares. Say hi to Brian, too. If you have any questions while we talk, go ahead and ask the questions. I see the chat right there. Obviously see it. Oh, look, I point in the right direction. Yep, there we go. That's really hard to do because it's the opposite of what I would think it would be. So yeah, go ahead and feel you care. Yay, everybody cares. Yeah, a lot of these drone ordinances it's basically setting a precedent, saying that these small towns and everything else that are like just basically scared of drones, they can't be that. They can't they can't make stupid rules. They can make whatever rules. Like, for instance, when I went to Upper Peninsula, one of the things my wife and I did is we went to Mackinac Island. And I hadn't been there in forever and a day, like over 30 years. My wife had never been there. And I looked up the rules for Mackinac Island. And Mackinac Island, it says you cannot fly drones without special permit. Which really annoyed me because when we were walking around and enjoying the island, we saw a wedding, and then we see the wedding get done, and she kind of enjoyed that, and then we hear the drone take off to take wedding photos, and I'm like, I will just assume that he had that permit, that he was allowed to fly, because as of mid-July this year is when Mackinac Island said you can't fly drones. So I'm assuming without a permit, because it scares the horses. And yet they have an airport that brings in Cessnas everywhere. They're not everywhere, but Cessnas come in and fly, and those don't scare the horses, and they're a lot louder than a drone. But you definitely don't want to fly a drone around a horse because that will spook them, and they don't like that at all. And I've seen videos of a guy who actually flew a drone from a horse and tried to hand catch the drone while on the horse, and it did spook the horse a little bit. And some of you probably know the video I'm talking about, and I personally thought that was a bad idea. So I'm not on board with Mackinac Island's rules and no, you got to get a permit and whatever. I'm just not on board with that. But I I didn't bring my drone to the island because I just did not want to. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want them trying to confiscate me. I didn't want them to find me, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't do it. And before we went to Mackinac Island, obviously we went to the Mackinaw Bridge because we came in from the south. We were in Mackinaw City for a little bit. And I found out that the Mackinac Island, or the Mackinaw Bridge, hey, Joe, Joe's here. How you doing, Mr. Joe? Haven't seen you in a while. And not because I haven't done a live stream in about 3 months. So anyway, when we were at Mackinaw City, we found out, and some of you may or may not know this, the Mackinaw Bridge has an FAA restriction. Hey, Variable, how are you? And Variable, I know that. I know you, or I've seen you around. So the Mackinaw Island, or the Mackinaw Bridge, has a. Oh wow, my phone just thought I talked to it. The Mackinaw Bridge has an FAA flight restriction, no fly zone over the Mackinaw Bridge. That one, I don't get it. You have boats going under it. Okay, first of all, why do they have a drone no-fly zone? Because they're afraid of national security, of hurting the bridge. I understand that part because if you damage that bridge, it's actually the only connection for hundreds of miles to get from Lower Peninsula to Upper Peninsula in Michigan. But on the other side of that, Matt. Hey, Matt. How are you? Anyway, so boats go under this bridge, which are large boats. Large semi-trucks go over this bridge. A person with a backpack can walk over it on Labor Day weekend. A car can drive over this bridge without any kind of inspection whatsoever. So, yeah, I don't understand why a drone that can carry maybe 2 pounds can be more dangerous than a Cessna airplane because they are in airspace of 2 airports. So a Cessna airplane can fly over this bridge. A truck can drive over this bridge. Why is a drone such a problem? Tell me why. Hey, Joe, so you're asking me when you're getting into FPV with the other guys, it's fun more than phantom flying. Well, Joe, because I make money with my phantom and I need to keep making money. And when I have more money, I probably get a little bit into FPV, but I am into making money and making the videos that I make. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Yes, Joe, they are scary. They abduct children and they take little puppies. I've seen the video of them taking the puppies. People are scared. It is crazy. Now, see, but just so you guys know, there is a spot where you can fly because you're just outside of the specific area where you can actually fly and take video of the Mackinaw Bridge, but the day I was there, it was extremely windy and gusty, and I couldn't take off for life of me because I didn't feel like crashing my drone, and I could have flown away. You can't be that close to it, and even DJI, when you light it up, it says, "Yeah, you're not supposed to fly here unless you have permission." Hey, Owen! Everybody, really quick, check out Owen. He's over. Let's see, can I get to him? There he is, Owen. So Owen, I am going to be on his live stream tomorrow. We're doing a live stream and chat tomorrow. But really quick, I want to show you guys something. I have got, let's see, is that the right one? Yep. So here's what I did do is I was able to get kind of close-ish. This is actually a 4K video that's actually zoomed in a little bit to make 1080p. So I did get some video of the Mackinac Bridge. It wasn't the best. I didn't really like it. Hey, no problem, Owen. I hope people subscribe to you because I like your videos. He does a pretty good job. So you can check it out. So anyway, there's a Mr. Shout out to Owen, Mr. Owen. And he's Mr. Owen there. He's a youngin' from the UK. I'm not gonna give away your age today. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. Anyway, he might be on a live stream with me later. So the Mackinac Bridge, I don't get that. I mean, yeah, it's politics. It's just stupid. There are a lot. I think Michigan is very. There's a lot of very scared people of drones. Even though I met several people that were really cool with it. And a thing about Michigan that I really, really like, and this came out fantastic for me, while we were at Tequamanon Falls, I have to think before I say that, Tequamanon Falls in the Upper Peninsula near Paradise, Michigan. Paradise, Michigan is actually in the state park. I saw this dude, he was walking down the path, and he had a a pole case, you know, and I'm like, that looks like that. He had a hard case, and I'm like, that looks like a drone case. So I literally followed him. I just kind of, you know, just checking. I was stalking him a little bit. It was fine though. He was okay with it, kind of. So I saw him pull out the Phantom 4 Pro, and I'm like, dude, how are you, man? I got one of those, and what are the rules here? He says, well, he hasn't seen anything that a Michigan State Park says you cannot fly a drone. He says there was no drones anywhere marked anywhere in there, so you could fly his drone. Unfortunately for him, he had updated his software and he couldn't log in because we were in the middle of a no service for cell phone service drone, and wow. He was mad because he couldn't update he had updated his software. It needed him to log in, and he couldn't log in. So I went and got my drone, and I flew all over the place. So Joe says, I met people that were scared of my FPV quad, talked to them calmly and showed them what they can do. Yeah, that's, you know, when you talk to people, it does help. Hey, Ron, how are you? From Washington State. Awesome. So we got people from the UK, and we got Joe from local, and we got Brian from local. Not quick enough. Got everybody. That's cool. I'm glad to see everybody's coming around here. So anyway, so the state of Michigan, you can fly in their state parks. Yeah, check out some of Joe's after my live stream. You don't go anywhere until after my live stream, or else. Now, Joe, if you steal my people, I'm coming after you because I know you live somewhere near me. Okay, so what I do want to show you, I want to show you some cool things from Tequamanon Falls. And yes, I am. Yep, I know this is that one. Just give me a second. Here is the lower falls. Oops, and I hit the button wrong. There we go. This was awesome. I loved doing this. Is the Tequamanon Lower Falls, and I just had some beautiful, beautiful stuff. And while we watch this, I can kind of look through your comments and see what's going on, because I gotta have some aerial video in every single one of my videos, whether it's a live stream or not. Let me know if you guys have questions. I see that everybody's liking each other and subscribing. When did I take this? I took this on Sunday. I believe it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. It was like 3-4 days ago. It is gorgeous. It was great. Yeah, this is northern Michigan, or the UP, and wait till you see this next one that I have. Now that one just restarted. So that was one of them. And let me just pop this back over because I wanted to make sure. That was the lower falls. That was the uglier version, the ugly version. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you. Oops. Up. There's the upper falls. Here's the upper falls. Oh, Joe. Yeah, I think I remember you were flying. Maybe I don't. Maybe someone else was flying Norway. Yeah, but here's my upper falls. You can actually see me up in the corner there. I took off from that platform. We waited and waited and waited for like very, very few people, and I kind of notified everybody, say, hey, you know, I'm going to fly my drone. Everybody was cool for it, and people came and asked me questions. Oh, it was great. I mean, we had all those people, like I had a couple guys asking me questions right next to me, and just, you know, the standard, how high does it fly? Yes. Wasn't that cool to have the rainbow, Joe? We got so lucky when I was flying it. I was looking, I'm like, oh my God, I got a rainbow, and my wife couldn't see it because my screen sucks. I've got the NVIDIA Shield, and it's not very bright. But yeah, I loved having that rainbow. Thank you very much, Mr. Brian. I love doing it. That was all taken the same day. The two lower and upper falls, because they're only 4 miles apart. We are going to hopefully go back up there. The only thing we regret is that the color was not there yet, the fall colors. Pretty sure that looking at the trees now, it's probably going to be like another 3 or 4 or 5 days until the color starts coming out. So that was the end of that one. So I hope you guys liked my videos. So what else did we want to talk about? Talk about the FAA thing, flying in Upper Michigan, and what was the other thing I was supposed to talk about? I hope you guys like my new stuff, my new logo that I got. Oh, and did you guys see I broke 1,000 subscribers? I'm almost at 1,200 now. I think I'm at 11 or 1170 something. I don't know. You guys can tell me. But that is so awesome that I broke 1,000 subscribers, and it's growing. And I would love to grow more, and I would actually put more videos up, but I have been so friggin' busy. The stream looks great. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mr. Brian. You like my logos and everything? Yeah, the stream is coming out really good. I'm really happy with it right now. I hope it stays that way. But I have been so busy. for those of you who don't know, because I've been very vague about it because I didn't know how Christopher would feel if I went out and told everybody, but he told me it's fine. If you guys know who Robo Aerial is here in Chicago, that's who I've been doing a lot of work with. We've been doing some pretty interesting stuff. We did the Chicago Triathlon a few weeks ago. We did all the aerial footage for them. We've done Navy Pier a couple times. We flew. No, I'm not using OBS. I'll tell you in just a second. I forgot name already. Variable. Ron. Anyway, so we also did some stuff for the Blackhawks. You saw the triathlon stuff. That came out so awesome. We flew for a sailboat race. I know I showed you that. I believe I shared that in the group. And Matt. Sorry, Matt. Matt. I have a good friend named Matt. I got to remember that. Jim Bob. You're all Jim Bob. But anyway, Matt, sorry. So anyway, we flew for a sailboat race. We flew for Navy Pier a couple times. We flew for the Blackhawks. We flew for their training camp during their scrimmage inside the United Center, and we flew over the scrimmage as they were playing. I mean, Taze is out there. You know, who's the captain? You can tell I'm not very much. I've got my jersey sitting right back here of Taze. Got free jerseys. Gotta love that. And working with Christopher has been awesome. Hey, Mr. Jeffrey, how are you? Looks like you cleaned the house prep. Yep, I did. I cleaned the house just a little bit. But if I move my head too far, you'll see there's some crap back there. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. Gonna do anything with the marathon this weekend? Yes. But we're not doing aerial. We're only doing only groundwork. So we're going to do some. He's got like 3 spots he's got to do. I think he's doing 360 work for that and some audio. So that's what we're doing for the marathon. So yeah, we're doing that. We're doing some other stuff. He's got it's kind of cool. We've done some stuff for some people who are building a skyscraper, not a very tall one. I think it's 13, 14 floors, 12 floors. 12 floors. You know, we've just done a lot of little things, and that's what's kept me busy and away from the channel and not being able to do live streams, because a lot of times he calls me up and says, "Hey man, what are you doing tomorrow?" Well, I'm working with you. I'm not minding the work. I'm enjoying the work. Christopher's really fun to work with. Oh yeah, Brad got some free props from a company called Master Air Screw to review. You might want to contact them. I will. Yes, Brian, I have been busy. That's why we haven't flown much. I want to five the Sears Tower. Fly the in Wrigley. Oh God, Joe. All you got to do is talk to the managers. Oh, you want to dive the Sears Tower? That would be interesting. Go get your permission. I would watch those videos. That would be very interesting. Oh, yeah, autocorrect, whatever, Joe. You just don't know how to type. That's all it is. Don't lie to me, man. Whatever, Joe. I see everybody subscribing to everybody. That's cool. Owen is, like I said, for everybody who didn't hear me before, I'm going to be on Owen's channel tomorrow. We're going to talk tomorrow, and it'll be on there. So subscribe to that, and you can see me again. Joe taking a 4th mortgage out so I can... Yeah, you know, Jeff, the problem with drones is that it's an expensive hobby. But if you do it as a living, it's not as bad, because then you get all your toys paid for. I'll capture that for you, Joe. Oh, cool. Yes, so what else we got going on, guys? Tell me. What do you guys got? What are you guys doing? Got loads of questions set up. Oh, good. Good, Owen. I'm glad. Better not be anything too bad. Got a call for a search and rescue today. That's awesome, Matt. How did that go? I mean, did you go do it? I mean, are you going to go, is it later today, or how'd that work? Oh, they found him before you went. Okay, that's good. Good that they found him. It's nice not to be needed in that situation. GoPro on the quad, no worries, and get it maybe. I've been doing some editing on all the video from the summer. That's, I'm going to do a few things, and we got to get together. Joe, I haven't flown with you yet. I've flown with Brian, I've flown with Jeffrey, I've flown with Joe, and there's a few other people. We got to do a little fly together, because what I want to do at the end of the year is I want to do look who I've flown with this year, and do like a little collage of everybody that I've hung out with. And I enjoy hanging out with you guys. It's a lot of fun. Maybe do something, getting 1 or 2 videos a week up. Yes, I've seen that, Brian. You're doing more videos than I am, and you have a full-time job. But then again, I have this and it's more than a full-time job. And I do Uber, unfortunately. Funny Joe. Okay, I'm not going to read all of these. It's 5PV mainly, so I will power loop your drone. Oh, yeah, actually... Racing, no, but if you power loop it, that could be fun as long as I'm getting video of it. See, I can get video of you flying through the air. That's what I'm thinking. As long as you don't hit my drone, because, we would crash. Matt, Uber's not that much fun. I've been doing it for 2 years, and I prefer never to do it again just because of the miles put on my car. The people are great. I love hanging out with the people. I love talking to the people, but not really for me. I want to be doing the flying. I want to be making videos and, stuff like that. But if you ever get an Uber in Chicago and you get me, just let me know who you are so I know. Wow, 20 minutes. That's cool. So I got through all of my stuff I wanted to talk about. That's a bonus. So I'm assuming the audio's coming out really good. I'm assuming the stream looks good. Everybody's saying it looks good. That's a cool thing. We've had up to 9 people watching at one time. Ooh, I don't think I've gotten into double digits yet. Oh, thank you, Matt. You reminded me. So, no, I don't use OBS. I use XSplit. I have a subscription to XSplit. I pay the $25 every 3 months, and it's fantastic. In fact, this is the new version of XSplit. You've been using friend stuff. Oh, Joe. We've got to fly because you're freaking hilarious. You scare me too a little bit. Oh, you hit 10. Oh, I hit 10 subscribers earlier. Woohoo! Double digits. Any drone community in Jersey that you can be a part of? No, I don't know anybody in Jersey. I know the Illinois Drone Flyers, or the Drone Flyers of Illinois here. Look up, what's the one? Drones United. They're like global or international, or maybe just in the U.S. So you can try that. Or how I found Drone Flyers of Illinois was I looked up drone, in Facebook. I looked up a group that said, I just looked up Drones Illinois, and I found Jeffrey's group, and that's Jeff right here. See Jeff right there. Oops, there. That's his group. Yep. Hey, Owen, take care, man. We will chat with you tomorrow. Have fun. Drone Pilot Profits, I've got that one. Yep, I belong to that one. I belong to a few of them. Talk to you tomorrow, Owen. Have a great evening, because it's late there, like 10 o'clock. He is in the UK. Wow. I like it when we have a lot of people chatting. So, guys, I have questions for you. What are my questions? How often would you like me to do live streams? I mean, number one, would you like me to do them more often? I mean, it's hard right now. In the winter, I imagine I'll be doing some more. Where is Aussie Mark? He's in Australia. He's probably asleep. You have an answer, Joe. I'm glad you have an answer, but you better have an answer to my question. Every day. Brian, I knew you were going to say that. Like, you want me to just, 24/7, just be online 24/7, so you can have open communicate. You have my phone number. You can text me. You're going to be a part of the Summit on Drone Pilot Profits group? Ooh, that's cool. That's very cool, Matt. Hey, Bikes and Drones, welcome. You're in Australia? Awesome. That's okay. How many commercial jobs have you had? I really don't. I've lost track. Except to be Thanks, Brian. Bikes and Drones, please forgive Mr. Foundation Ariel. He's Brian, and he's a little crazy. Actually, they're all a little crazy. This summer, I've had a lot of commercial work I've done for other company that we talked about earlier called Robo Aerial. He's a local company, one of the top 4 in Chicago. And Christopher's had me do Navy Pier. We did Blackhawks indoors over a scrimmage. That was interesting. We did... the triathlon. We're working the marathon this weekend, so we're doing a lot of different things, and these are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. He's really kept me really busy. Jeff is a little crazy also. Yes, sir. I asked Taylor if she is looking for more people. Oh, yeah, because I think I would be a good fit. Thanks, Matt. I'm in the group. I follow her, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on things, but I've just been so busy. Owen, thought you were going to bed, young man. Oh, so bikes and drones. I hope I answered your question. I don't really know the number, but that's okay. If you have more questions, feel free to ask me. I don't care. If I don't know the answer, I'll say don't know the answer. Hey, I got to 10 watching right now. Oh, another thing. This has been something that's been kind of going around in my mind for a while now, because I would like to grow this channel more, but it's just a time thing, and since I need money and all that stuff, I don't know if you guys would be interested if I did a Patreon or not. I've thought back and forth on it. Right now I don't have one. I started to do it, and I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable doing it. So let me guys know what your opinion is on something like that, because, it costs money. I mean, just prepping for this video here, it took me a couple of hours, because I had to bring in all that footage, and I wanted to create some nice little edits for you. I didn't put any music to it this time, but I did a lot of different things with that. Now, Amazon, Matt, what I have a problem with Amazon is that I tried that once, and because I didn't, their affiliate link is like, if you don't sell even much with it, then we're going to just cancel you, and it went away. And the Amazon affiliate, I'd done a couple reviews. It was on another channel. It was on a completely different channel. And I did some reviews. Nobody used my affiliate links, and it just didn't work. Just throw things at people. Okay, Joe, maybe I shouldn't fly with you. You're kind of making... but no, it's thought. I mean, yeah, I was thinking about doing an Amazon affiliate. I don't know if I'm going to go that route. I thought, maybe I should. Yeah, sponsorships. I don't know who I want to sponsor. See, have half your subs. You have half yours, and it works. Oh, you do Patreon with like 500 or 600 subs, Matt? Matt, I think we need to chat some more. I'd like to chat with you some more about that, and just kind of, I know it works and all that, but I don't expect to make $1 billion even in 20 million years, but extra funds would be nice. I thought about that's with Amazon. Oh, I'm sorry, with Amazon. Okay, so I'll think about it. I will think about that, Matt. You've given me food for thought, and maybe with that I could do a couple reviews, or something. I do have affiliate links for Remote Pilot 101, and I've made a little bit off of that. I've got affiliate links with Pond 5. I make some money off my Pond 5. Arrow Spike, how are you? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Do you use your drone for work, or do they provide one for you? Actually, Christopher uses my drone a lot. He's the one Christopher's usually flying, because his talent makes me look like an idiot. He is fantastic. So he does the flying in the video. I am there as a spotter, as a helper, as everything else, PA, whatever. So I'm not really doing a pilot. I did fly for him on a couple jobs that aren't as important and were easy for me to do, that didn't take the kind of talent that he has, like taking specific types of pictures that were more like inspections or whatever, that were less creative and just pretty much straightforward. So that's how Christopher and I did things. He's talented. He's a very talented individual. And Aerospike, I appreciate your thanks. I really do. I'm not getting rich, but it's better than YouTube. Well, anything's better than YouTube earnings. Matt, tell you right now. I've made $25 this month on YouTube. Woohoo! So if you're, Matt, you've talked me into it. I'm going to set affiliate up as soon as I start my next video, and maybe throw some product on there and say, check my affiliate links out. Thank you very much, sir. And one thing I thought about, which I don't think I'm going to do. Foundation Arrow, thanks for subbing that. Okay, Matt. Anyway, one thing I thought about doing is I thought about writing a book, but I have no idea what I would write a book about. I think that I don't have enough knowledge yet at this point to write a book on drones. I have other things, but not drones. We'll see how it goes. I hope, and I assume you guys are enjoying the videos I put up now, because you're subscribed, and most of you guys are pretty active on my channel, and I appreciate that very, very much. I really do. You guys are pretty awesome. I think that's all the questions I have. I hope you guys liked my do you guys like my new logo? I don't even have it on this stream. I like my new logo. I was thinking about making. That's the other thing. I was thinking about doing some T-shirts. I do have some T-shirts. I have a T-shirt about the "We're not spying on you." Using thumbs still, Brad, or you switch fingertips? I'm still using my thumbs. I can't do. I haven't gone to fingertips yet. Just because I don't feel it just doesn't work good. Thanks, Matt. Matt might be talking to someone else, though. Cool beans. Pinch. Yes, Joe, blah, blah, blah. Small fortune on YouTube. I started with a large one. Bikes and drones, that's awesome. I love that. I think I might use that. I'm going to steal your joke, all right? I won't make money on the joke, though, I promise. Keep trying, but it takes getting used to. Maybe I will. I'll keep practicing. Maybe what I should do is get those little nubbies that you can put on there. I don't know what the hell they're really called, and get those and work with that, because I saw that Ken Herron did that, and he uses it and he does it that way. And he's a pretty good pilot too. New with drones, but I'm learning from you and others. Woohoo! I hope you learned more from just me. Yeah, definitely want to do more people. What's this? Adpocalypse. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, it didn't come through. Do you use AirMap or Kitty Hawk? Both. I use, here, let me pop, I'll show you what I use. Well, you can ignore the before you fly, but there's my drone apps that I have. Oops. Verify before you, Kitty Hawk. What's that one? Ooh, boy, it does not want to focus. Here, maybe if I do that, it'll focus. God. Where to fly? I don't use that one so much. I got hover. I got the stuff. Pinched. So, Joe, I've pinched from the get to. I got eyes from Ken. I won on a live stream. I think I saw that. I have an extra set. I'll take some eyes, or if you got the nubbies, the pinchers, whatever you want to call. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that, that'd be fine. You're getting dizzy, Brian. Get go, damn it. Get go. Is that the name of an app, Joe? I'm confused now. Oh, you have an extra set of eyes. I don't want to put stickers on it. Because it's really cool that people want to do that and customize and all that. But with what I'm going to be doing in the future, I'm just going to have too many drones. I'm hoping to have a whole lot of drones. I've got some things I'm working on that unfortunately could be bad for the YouTube channel, but it could be really good for the YouTube channel also. You're going to do anything with the marathon? Yes, Brian. I am doing stuff with the marathon, but we're not doing aerial. I think we're doing 360 and terrestrial and audio. My previous message said get to. It should say get go. Autocorrect, I swear. Ah, okay. I'm a little slow, Joe, as you already know. I bet you're tired of people rhyming your name all the time. Okay, what was I talking about? You guys, I lost it. We were talking about pinching. We were talking about with any luck with what I'm looking at doing with my company. And this is another thing. Is someone asked me to update my company, in my vlog, because I don't really do the vlog anymore because I didn't like doing it. It was hard. I just don't have the time. So the company, with the help of Christopher, is moving forward. I'll tell you in just a second, Brian. Yes, Joe, it is easy to confuse me. So anyway, with the company, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build it, and it is building, and I'm looking at some new clients, doing some different kinds of things that I don't want to get into because I don't want somebody to steal my idea. And if it goes the way I want it to, then I'll tell you how it goes. If it doesn't go how I want it to, then I'm not going to tell you anything. But if it goes the way I want, then the business will grow pretty well in the next 12 months. And then I will actually have multiple drones. I'll actually be hiring pilots, FAA licensed pilots. So keep an eye out for that. If I put a video out saying, I need pilots, that's a good thing. And it would all be stuff that I can train you on. You don't need to be a super creative person, stuff that it would be very easy for someone who's got at least a year experience is what I would like to see flying relatively regularly, not someone who's just flying every 6 weeks or so. So I got to catch up. What app are you good to find out if you can fly in certain areas? You know what, Joe, Brian, I have seen. Which is the one I like the best? AirMap works decent. Before if I use AirMap and before you fly just to kind of see what contradicts. Kitty Hawk will just say TFR in your area and doesn't really tell you much. I mean, I'm still kind of getting used to Kitty Hawk. And then UAV forecast. Oh, Kitty Hawk does something different. Never mind. I don't use Kitty Hawk as much. UAV forecast is what I like to use to kind of to see if there's something in my area to worry about. And then I go back to AirMap to get the details. Is that what we were talking about? Who knows, Joe? Shut up. You finally said who you were working with. Baby steps. Yeah, well, Brian, like I said, the reason I couldn't tell you is because I didn't know his opinion on me being open about it, but he and I have discussed it, and he's a pretty open kind of person. He hires interns and stuff, and I'm one of his paid pilots and visual observers and production assistant. I'm basically whatever he needs for that day. For the marathon, we're going to do some work with audio, I'm very good at audio. I love this microphone right here. We still need to Matt, I can't speak. We all still need to do a major safety video. You're the one that suggested that. Thank you very much. I was smacking me in the head trying to figure out. Now there's something. Oh, Joe. What were we? I don't know what we were talking about. I forget. You printed off Part 107 stuff today. Brian, use my affiliate link for the FAA Remote Pilot 101. That'll give me a couple bucks, and I'll be happy. Affiliate link in the description below. See how that works? And you'll pass the test. I mean, it's practically guaranteed, but you will definitely do a good job passing that test if you do the remote pilot. It's what I did. I was an idiot before I got into that class. I took the class in 5 days, and I passed it. It is expensive, but it works. It's worth every penny because it's lifetime. Once you have it, you can do it for lifetime. The business, what we had an hour conversation on the phone about ringing. Oh, that one's out. No, that one, that business to do that. Well, and if someone else wants to do it, that's great. But if you want to do it, Joe, you go right ahead. I won't tell anybody about it unless you want me to. But that one, the cost of getting started was too high. I wasn't going to be able to raise the funds. Some other stuff came up that was a little bit easier for me to work with because I would have to raise minimum 100,000, 250,000, something like that just to get started. And I'm not a good fundraiser for that kind of money. Now, if you have $250,000, we can do it. But that was really, really, really that I had to put that on the no, I'm not going to be able to do that shelf. Sorry, I should have told you that, but that's, like I said, I've been really, really, really busy. You're going to cut me a check, Brian? Am I going to be able to cash it? Yeah, okay. So what Joe and I were going to do, and if somebody in Chicagoland or any area wants to do this, it'd be great. We were going to build an indoor drone flying place that would have a lot for FPV racing and a lot for selling drones to test fly different drones. You know, the Mavic, the Phantom, the Inspire. Probably not as big as the S1000. So basically, it was a site, both retail and you could fly races, and it would have all the equipment up that you could watch the races. If you've seen the Drone Racing League, that's something that it wouldn't be as big as one of those or one of those tracks, but it would be configurable. We'd be able to change the track every week or every 2 weeks or every month or whatever, so that people would be able to. It would be a lot of fun. It would be a place where people could go indoors and fly a drone. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to have it in the OHare airspace so that we could actually fly drones near OHare legally because we'd be inside a building. Where do you apply to work there? Well, Jeffrey, all you have to do is put in $250,000 to $500,000 and you can run it yourself. Because we're not opening. It's just, again, finding investors is just not going to happen. It's a great idea. I know that people are going to do it. I know that this is something that will happen in cities all over the place. Hire me. Do you work for free, Jeff? Because that's what we would need. It was a cool idea. Inside flying, I would offer drone repair. Yeah, drone repair also. Yeah, that was also one of the things we were going to do. And I think Joe was going to do all the drone repairs. because it wasn't going to be me. I was going to be more of the sales and the events. We were also going to have, like, birthday parties. You come over with your birthday party. It was like a bowling league. You could have drone racing leagues. It was a lot like a bowling alley, except with a drone track. Yeah, it's yeah, Jeff, I feel like I work for free some days too, especially when I'm driving Uber, because of all the money that goes out of in my car. It's just craziness. But I thought that was an awesome idea that we were going to do, Joe. I really wish we could have found real investors. I found an investor for this other thing I want to do, but that's not going to take nearly the kind of money that what we were talking was going to do. Not even a tenth, less than a tenth. So that's why I kind of scrapped it. But I talked to a few people and about getting a building, and because even a guy I talked to says, the police, he works for the city of Chicago, and he says, there's a lot of places that you just go rent because their building is empty and they don't really care. And but I need something. We would need something that's like 80 feet, 80 foot tall. At least, we just want this big, wide open space, and that's really hard to find in the Chicagoland area for anything that's reasonably priced. So, yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, it is. Joe, if we found it, seriously, if you called me up and said, dude, I found investors, it would be done. It'd be done. I hide money inside my pillow. Don't tell my wife. Shh. She's not here. She can't hear you. What are some of the lesser-known FAA regulations? Lesser-known. Well, I don't know them because they're lesser-known. Well, ask me questions and we can see who knows what. You can't fly over people is like the biggest one. The biggest one. So, Jake, I think that you have just triggered a possible video because that's something I would really have to look up and see what it is. Because if I go look at all the rules and regulations, it's like, here's one. Here's one of those that people don't know because I've seen people do it. You're not supposed to fly a drone while in a moving vehicle, while driving a moving vehicle or in a moving vehicle. It is okay to fly under the influence of alcohol. I don't. No, I don't think it is. I'm going to go with no. Crowds, 400 foot, airports, etc. Yeah, well, here's the thing about airports. This is something that, as a licensed, FAA licensed pilot, if you have a small, not regional, but small airport that's like class, you guys are going to screw me. You guys tell me the class. I know, I'm not the best. You can't chase a car while riding shotgun. Okay, that one, let me see. If you're riding shotgun, I don't believe you can. I know when you're driving, you can't. Class E is very difficult. When you are near a small airport, not OHare, but something small, not even Chicago Executive is too big, you don't have to call the air traffic control. You call them as a courtesy. That's one of the things that people don't realize. You call them as a courtesy, and I've done that. And I say, hey, I'm going to be flying, 2 miles away from you. I'm going to be doing 300 feet or 100 feet or 200 feet. I'm going to be flying for about an hour or maybe or half an hour. And they're like, oh, okay. I've done it a few times. And one time, one of the videos I made last spring, I had to go down. I was over like a mile from an airport, and I called them up, left a voicemail. And I did, and just before I went to flying, I actually got a voicemail back saying, oh, yeah, well, you've probably already done your flying, but yeah, it's okay. So let me see. If the alcohol is for a cut on your hand from the blades hitting, then yes. Yeah, okay. So with the smaller airports, you should give a courtesy call. You really should give a courtesy call. But you don't have to. But if you're stupid and flying really high, I would say if you're within a mile, definitely get a hold of them and let them know what you're doing. If you're within, just use your best judgment. If you think you're going to be in the flight path, definitely call them, or just don't fly in the flight path and the approach pattern. Just kind of you do your best sense. You kind of be smart about it. But I think that that is a good idea for a video, Jake. I appreciate that. I like ideas for videos. If you guys have more ideas for videos, please let me know. And any of my videos that you watch, just comment, comment, comment. I read the comments. Until the comments get to be the point to where there's 50,000 comments in the first 10 minutes of a video, which I hope I would ever get to that. That would be awesome. I won't be able to read those. But you guys understand. What is the radius around a big commercial airfield you must stay out of? Jake, that's a good question because you just have to look it up. It's 5 miles. It's definitely 5 miles. I am 4.5 miles from OHare, and I've said that about 1,000 times on my site on this channel. The way the OHare is, though, it's not a perfect circle. It's a circle with a little pie cut out of it, a little 90-degree pie cut, and I'm really close to the corner of that cut, but I'm still in OHare airspace. So look it up on Air Map. You look it up on Before You Fly. You can hover. I don't believe them at all because Air Map and everything else, they say I'm within 4 or 5 miles. So just if you're a hobbyist, don't fly. Period. If you are 107 certified, you can get some waivers. At times, it's like 4 and 5 miles away. If you're within that 4 or 5 mile range, you might be able to get a waiver for 200 or 300 feet. You won't be able to go 400. We have planes flying over us all the time, right? Well, not all the time because today's a good day. But anyway, you definitely you want to not fly near a major airport, a big commercial like OHare, unless you have a waiver and you've talked to air traffic control. There are also ways that you can work it to where you have communication with air traffic control, but you have to have the right radio. You have to have everything else that works. And you just have to have communication with that. But the odds of you getting that one are pretty slim unless, of course, you already have a normal pilot's license. I'm ignoring Jeff now. Uh-oh. I didn't. No. Drone going to be able to look for the truck. I think Jake is taking his test right now. Yeah, Jake, are you trying to cheat? Jeff is too funny. Okay, I fly near Waukegan Airport all the time. They don't care here. Well, good. I'm going to come up to Waukegan. They don't care. You can blame your autocorrect all day long. I will not answer that question, Brian, on the grounds that somebody might hurt me. Any more good questions? This has been a good live stream. I'm glad I did this again. Even though the wife's making a lot of noise in the kitchen. You guys can probably hear all that. She's cooking. She's got to eat, We got to let her eat every now and then, at least once a week. I let her eat once a week. Oh. And no, I doubt she's going to be coming on the live stream. She just got home. When am I coming to Waukegan? Joe, I don't have we got to come up there. I've got a way to contact you. What about the FAA rule? About the FAA rule about flying near commercial airports? You don't. The FAA rule is 5 miles. You don't fly in Class B airspace. You just don't. Unless you have permission from the air traffic control. Good luck with that. Maybe we should all go up and visit Joe. What do you guys think? Maybe we should all just go up there and have fun. Aerial drone, everything's better up high. Hey, what is the rules? What is the rules for what? No federal court thing. Oh, I talked about that earlier, Matt. The federal court thing. Okay, well, let's try to arrange something. You guys are all in that Drone Flyers group. We'll try to do that. The Drone Flyers of Illinois. They have a website now. The FAA rule, yeah, we talked about at the beginning. I talked about that at the beginning of the whole video. But the FAA ruling, basically they said that I can't remember the guy's name. The guy sued the city of Newton, Massachusetts, saying you can't make these specific ordinances because the FAA's rules are this. And the federal court said, we agree with the FAA. You don't have the right to make these extra rules that are stupid. There's a difference in the rules. I mean, like with Chicago. Chicago has an ordinance that you can't fly over government buildings, Chicago-owned buildings. But see, that goes at a different side, because that is saying you don't have permission to fly over our property, which is definitely true. You have to have permission to fly over property, but that's also a gray area. We don't want to go into that. That's another area altogether. But Newton, Massachusetts was doing some really stupid things, like you can't fly a drone under 400 feet. Well, it's like, yeah, but then you can't fly a drone. You know, that was the whole point, is they were trying to get you to not fly a drone. Defoil, yes, don't forget the droneflyersofillinois.org, defoil.org. Anyway, so that's kind of where it was going. You know, basically the FAA trumps local laws is what that ends up being. As long as the local isn't stupid, they probably won't. Like I said, you know, you can't fly over churches, you can't fly over cemeteries here in Chicago. You can't fly over all these little things in Chicago, but maybe in other places you can. I don't know. That you have to really check it out. But there you go. That's the general thing, Matt. You might want to go like rewatch this when it's done and just watch. I think I did it in the first 5 or 10 minutes, and I went into a little bit more detail than I just did, so you can check it out. You can fly under the influence, so you can. I remember taking the test, and it was very specific on telling you how much alcohol how long it takes you to get alcohol out of your system, like 8 hours for an ounce of alcohol or something like that, to get completely out of your system. I think it's all about the blood alcohol content. It's the same as driving. If it's at a certain point, you cannot fly. In fact, it would be kind of stupid for you. Who would want to fly over a cemetery? Oh, hey, you guys hear the fire truck? Flying over a cemetery. Well, you know, some cemeteries are beautiful. I mean, I know somebody I saw, Ken Heron flew over it wasn't Arlington, but it looked like an Arlington style. It was very well laid out, and the lines and the patterns were really, really cool. And he did that, I think, for Memorial Day. I assume he had permission. He's very good about being legal, and we'll just go like that. We'll just assume that he was legal and all that. But it looked really nice. Now in Chicago, we've got a couple cemeteries that, you know, they're just really pretty. They would be kind of cool, but you can't fly over them. Bot Grinder on YouTube. Dude flies over cemeteries all the time, usually stormed. Oh, God. I don't want to know. The stream is cracking up a bit. Uh-oh. Sorry, Brian. When you buy the drone, it says no drinking or drugs. Yeah, a bit jumpy. There's not much I can do about it. Nobody else. All my wedding photos were taken at the cemetery. Well, Jeff, you're a little bit... That's Jeff. That doesn't surprise me. I was sober when I bought the drone. I don't want to know. I've lost one drone, and it was because I was drunk. Yep, see? There you go. Don't drink and drone. Come to get Brad for flying. Uh-oh. I'm going to run. Flew over a cemetery. It was great. No complaints from the residents. Yeah, they didn't call anybody. So were you dying to get there? Bad joke. Bad joke. At least it's in the woods. Yeah, Jake, at least you lost your drone in the woods. You know, I have a feeling if you were flying under the influence and you hurt somebody, you would be in a big world of hurt then. Well, that's now the no cemetery flying. That's in Chicago. That's a Chicago thing. I don't know what it is. When I go somewhere to fly, I check the rules for that location to see if there's something like that I need to know. We can't fly over churches here. We can't fly over schools or near schools, which, you know, some of the schools have cool parking lots or cool playgrounds to get like neat patterns and whatnot. But I understand why, because people are freaked out because, oh, don't watch my kid. Da, 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 da. I was like, I'm not watching your kid. I could care less. Oh, crap. Joe's coming. Crap. Good luck knowing where I live. I live right here. Right here. Just inside OHare airspace. Joe, you lost a P4 in Lake Michigan and you replaced it for free. Well, I did the same thing with my Autel. They replaced it for free also, and then I sold it. But if you watch the chat, but I think, Joe, I'm pretty sure you already knew that. You're in Minnesota. What are the rules up there, Mr. Aerial Drone? Everything's better up high. Blah, blah, blah. I got to learn how to speak today. since I'm live. So yeah, do you have? What about flying in the Minnesota state parks? Because that would be cool if you got some cool state parks. Yeah, I knew you did, Joe. I knew you knew. I knew you knew. I just gotta watch out because I don't want you coming and sneaking up on behind me. So yeah, I would really like to know what your rules are up in Minnesota, if there's anything I need to know about, because the leaves are probably going to be changing if they're not already, and I'd like to come up and get some video of that. Might just end up going to Waukegan and getting working with Joe and Brian and Jeff, and I think there's someone else. I forget who else. So far, what are the FAA rules? Which rules do you want to know? So what FAA rules? The rules for, I mean, there's a lot of rules. There's some you can't fly in national parks without strict permission. Good luck getting that. There's a handful of people that get them. You can't fly over people. You can't fly over stadiums with crowds in them. You can't, because of it's a crowd. You can't fly over crowds, but you can't fly over stadiums. Anything open. You can't fly over. What else? You can't fly from a moving vehicle. You're not supposed to fly from a moving vehicle. It's a little gray on whether you're controlling the vehicle. You definitely cannot drive a vehicle and control the drone at the same time. Yeah, I don't know what the rules in Minnesota are going to be basically the same in every state, FAA-wise. What I'm trying to figure out is what are the rules that Minnesota has for Minnesota state parks. Because national parks, FAA is FAA. Yeah, I know Ken Heron did it. I'm ignoring. I saw that video and I wanted to. I was fuming. Oh, but I have a spotter, Gary, and there was no Gary. Anyway, I like Ken. I like his videos. I'm not going to talk bad about him. In Minnesota, the only rules are what the FAA says. Okay, so that's nice. So Minnesota is drone friendly. That's good to know. I think going to Minnesota is a good idea and flying your drone. Yeah, it's so cool when you pull it. In some areas, people are like, "Oh my God, you're watching me." And Brian and I had an interesting experience with some guy he actually openly said he was a conspiracy theorist or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And Brian had to mention the word contrails, and it's like, "No!" Oh. Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, Joe. So anyway, Brian and I we had the thing with that, and some people come up, oh my God, you're spying on everybody, blah 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 blah. No, we're not. Watch my video. We don't spy on anybody. We could care less about you. But yeah, like what you're saying, it's when I was at the Michigan State Parks, I pulled the drone out. We got it we took off in a. Shut up, Brian. I got the drone out, and people were like asking me questions, and they were intrigued, and they were interested, and they wanted to know more. They weren't, oh my God, he's spying. And when I was flying, everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. There was one guy who, on the lower falls, we were joking around. It was really funny because, it's a P4P. It's pretty well stable. And I looked away. I was looking at him and not looking at the drone. He's like, oh my God, don't look at me. I'm like, it's not moving anywhere. Don't worry. I got my eye on it. My wife's watching it too. Don't worry. Because I would talk to him. But then I talked to him a little bit, and it's just very interesting. There's a lot of cool things. When you talk to people, it's really kind of nice. Ooh, wow, I met 11 people. Jake Allison, no flying at night. Yeah, you can't fly at night without a waiver. You have to have a night waiver, and you got to have lights. Yeah, all of that stuff. It's 30 minutes after sunset, and 30 minutes before sunrise is when you can start flying and end flying. Vietnam drones were expressly forbidden to be flown unless you had written permission from the Army. I hate countries like that. There's a country in South America. Which country in South America is like that? That you don't even bring a drone because they'll just confiscate it. You don't get to keep it. Joe, the Earth is flat. I agree with you. Whatever drugs you're on. So yeah, the Vietnam thing. I know that in Australia, the rules are similar to the U.S. That's what I've understood. That's what Aussie Mark has told me. Joe, I don't want la. Yes, Brian, we're serious. You cannot fly at night. You are not allowed to fly at night. Did you not know this? That's everywhere. That's FAA. FAA rules. No flying at night. 30 minutes after sunset, 30 minutes before sunrise. So during twilight hours, you can fly. After that, no. Thought you knew that one. They were delivering cookies? Oh my God, that's so cool. That is so cool. It's the rules, Brian. Don't know. I don't know the meaning of the rules, but that is it. Good thing you haven't done it. No comment. Not that I've seen any videos. Oh, and here's the interesting thing about video proof. If you guys kept an eye on the Casey Neistat thing earlier this summer, la 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 la. The video of you doing it is not considered proof of you doing it. Okay. Because they don't know they don't know if you didn't have a waiver or didn't have permission or whatever. Like for us, I personally have not flown at night. My drone has flown at night legally because we had a person who had a waiver to fly after in the dark. So you have to have the proper lights. You have to have different things. You talk about the different things about flying at night, because flying at night there is a difference, because you can lose your drone very easily at night. And some of you may or may not know this. You allegedly might know this. But we had someone with a waiver, so we flew at night, and we got video of the fireworks for Chicago's Navy Pier. Yeah, there has to be evidence of holding the stick. Like the guy that was flying in Israel near the airport that flew and just landed right next to himself. Says, "Oh, look at me, I'm flying." Da, da, da. Yeah, Casey just joined us. Good. Hi, Casey. Bring all your subscribers to my channel. Oh yeah, it's still kind of the wild west with drone rules. That's for damn sure. It's like who really enforces them, because locally they don't enforce. I don't know. It's. I prefer people follow the general rules, like the no flying over people. That's the one that bothers me the most. Is people when they fly over crowds of people and they have a larger drone like an Inspire 2. A Phantom 4, it's still a problem because you can hurt somebody, and you're not going to kill them, but you're going to hurt somebody if it falls out of the sky and lands on them. Inspire 2, you're going to really hurt somebody. You can probably put them in a hospital. Anything bigger than that, like an M600 or S1000, you could really hurt somebody. But the flying over people is probably the biggest thing I have, and flying in controlled airspace, I understand that, because you don't know. I mean, a smaller one, you're probably not going to hurt the plane, but I don't really want to take chances. What's the difference between controlled and restricted? Restricted, boy, Jake, are you taking the test already? Restricted means you don't fly, you don't go there. If you go there, you have to. Usually, restricted means your drone will probably be shot down or taken down in some fashion, or you will get a severe fine. Controlled is an airport, an air traffic control, where they actually control everything. Restricted is usually like a military base. So, or when the president's flying around, he gets like a 5 million mile radius where you can't fly. Of course, if it was as the truth, then no one would be flying in the U.S. So, okay, Brian, take care, man. Have a good night. We'll do a Waukegan fly soon, we hope. Mini quads will cut. Yeah, dude, I've been cut with my Autel when I had it. Yeah, get it. Yeah, Brian, get in the defoil thing. And no, I'm not flipping you off. I had an itchy chin. So, any more questions? This thing has been. Oh my gosh, we're over an hour. We have run over an hour. Wow. I think this is craziness. What's this? Oh, see, Joe, some of your stuff is getting held away, and I'm not telling you. I'm keeping it hidden. When are you coming to Waukegan to fly? I'm on. Oh man. Okay, later. Boy, this just jumped right through there. I just missed a whole bunch of stuff. Yay, UPS showed up. Jeffrey, I missed. What did UPS deliver to you today? Did they deliver you the 5th Mavic for you? The new Mavic with the props for the new Mavic? Well, I had to put that on because I have to have some kind of moderation. It's hard for me to moderate, and I don't want it to be, I understand that you're probably pretty safe. Oh, an antenna. That's cool, Jeff. I know you're probably pretty safe, but I just leave it on because I don't want to deal with. I can't read every single thing. I'm actually using this chat to read what people are saying, and I looked over and I saw that one yours got blocked, and it's already gone. I don't see it anymore. Ouch. Okay, guys, this is starting to hurt. That's my chair, and I'm too fat to be sitting in a chair for too long. Man, you guys have been very active. Thank you. I appreciate this. Anything, Joe, I have this thing called Super Chat, and if you put in, $500, I'll approve your chat, unless, of course, it's really rude. You've had a quote for a drone and public liability insurances for $1,300 a year. What's a ballpark figure for the U.S.? I think that sounds pretty close. If that's like $1 million liability, what would the $1,300 be converted to? I think it's close to that. I don't even have to deal with insurance yet. I use Verifly when I fly on my own, but whenever I fly with Robo Aerial, I'm under his insurance. So I don't even have to worry about it. And if he crashes my drone, he buys me a new drone. Very simple. And he deals with it. Done fireworks for a few towns. I don't know about the nighttime flying until a few weeks. A few weeks after. Yeah, because do you guys in Australia... Oh, wait, no, sorry, you're in Minnesota. I'm getting the bikes and drones confused. You have done fireworks for a few towns. Yeah, you're not supposed to fly at night. Get the night waiver. People can get it. Do a little bit of research on how to get the night waiver and get it. I mean, I know people who had it. I thought about getting it. I just haven't had a chance. And check it out. It's called the day. It's actually confusing because it's like called a daytime waiver or something like that. I don't know. It's a really oddly titled waiver. But get that waiver and you're fine. And you gotta have the lights on. And they make the lights, and I think you can get a set of lights for $200 or $300 that go on the bottom of a P4, P3, and P4P, and you can get them for the Inspire and all that. Yeah, Friday, exactly. Verifly does $10 an hour, and as long as you're not doing anything, like if you're just doing real estate or if you're doing some basic stuff, that's great. I had one guy tell me somebody quoted him, like he was quoting a construction company, a local construction company, and they said, well, you have to have $50 million liability. We're pretty sure that was a don't bother us type of response because there is nothing a drone can do that would provide or give $50 million in damage to anything, even a construction site. I'm glad you're getting some info, Bikes and Drones. Bikes and Drones, what's your name? Yeah, isn't that stupid? $50 million coverage. When he told me that, I was like, what? Like, yeah, they basically have a guy they use, and they don't want to be bothered with other drone companies. I mean, what possibly could a P4P, which is what he has? Greg, nice to meet you, Greg. Nice to have a name. The P4P is what he's flying over. Would be flying over these construction sites, and they're like $50 million. I'm like, this little drone is not taking down your entire building. even it's like it's construction. When I fly in my town, there's an unpaved airport. So on my screen it says, "Careful, there's an unpaved airport." With an unpaved airport, keep your eyes open because that's uncontrolled. Well, is it controlled, uncontrolled? I'm trying to remember because a long time ago I had a pilot friend who had lived near a private airstrip like that. It was grass, and it had about a handful of planes there. You just keep an eye out for planes because they can land whenever, and then they're going to be small Cessnas or whatever, and you can. If you're flying an Inspire or something, you can do some real damage to the plane. But you can damage a plane enough to where they have to get it certified and fixed and certified, and everything like that. So just really keep an eye out. I wouldn't fly very close to it. I'd stay at least a mile away from that airport or that airstrip, or find out who owns it, and talk to them and say, hey, I'd like to fly around you. That again, you want to maybe talk to them. Say, I want to fly around you, and I see that it's Class E, and just say, hey, do you mind, or at 700 feet, you should be legal, but he still has to come down to the ground. Talk to the owner. I mean, I'm sure there's just some guy, unpaved, depending on locations, uncontrolled. I used to work on private light. Okay, so Joe's got a better answer than I do. I would still ask the owner and just make sure you just keep an eye out for planes, but talk to the guy. And I'm sure, I mean, it's more of a courtesy that you're telling him. Just treat it as any other small airport. Okay, guys, this is getting long. Hope you guys like my faces. I think this has been the most active live stream that I've had as far as chats go. And I appreciate it. Oh, we still have 6 people watching. I got up to 11 at one point. That's big for me. Might have to do this. Yeah, still call. Thanks, Matt. See, I remember now. Matt. Oh, Joe, you got to go to work. Crap. Have fun. Have a good night at work. Yeah, we'll do this flying thing. I'm busy all weekend until next week, and who knows? It's always last minute stuff, so it's hard to plan. But we'll work something out. Anyway, guys, I think this is going to be the end of the chat. Let's go ahead and hit my end screen here. Let's talk for a moment about you guys helping support the channel by going to my Brad's Drone stuff on Spreadshirt. You can find me on Facebook at Brad's Drones, and go ahead and click like on this video and help spread the word and get people to subscribe to my channel. If you want anything else, you can also leave comments below. You can follow, like I said, follow me on Facebook and leave stuff on there. That's it for now. I will probably do some more live streams. I just hope I can do them sooner than later. And until next time, fly safe and bye.